years old, my father used to take me down to the seaside. I would frolic by the ocean and play with other children my age. One day, when I was playing by the rock pool, I encountered a creature that we call a snail. Now, I studied the creature very closely, and I looked right close to it, and for a moment there I looked into its eyes, and I could have sworn the snail, it looked right back into my eyes. I looked at the snail looked at me. 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 And in that instant, I did not see a creature, a monster, an insect. No, I saw a living thing, a soul, a friend. And in that moment, the snail universe and its logic and the human universe, the barriers collapsed, and I was there experiencing it, and it was experiencing me. Anyway, I hear you wondering, you in the turtleneck, what do snails have to do with me and my big ideas? Huh? Well, the snail was once a slug, and it grew, it evolved. Evolution. 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 It grew a layer to deal with the demands of today. We all have a northern star, something we're all reaching towards, an ambition. Maybe we just need to grow an extra layer, a shell, a new set of tentacles. Anyway, there's one other thing I'd like to really share with you today, and that is, and I want you to consider this very, very seriously. The snail is a hermaphrodite, which means that the snail has both male genitalia and female genitalia, which means that if you consider two snails in a room having sex, it's sort of like 4 snails. It's 4 creatures having sex, because you've got 2 and 2 with 2 different sets of genitals, and they're all having sex with each other, and it's really, I really want you to think about this, because this might be my most profound concept that I would like to share with you, and it is this idea of the 2 snails having sex, which is really, it's very similar to 4 people in a room having sex. So when I was a child,
since all sound can be measured and expressed in numbers, and the relationship between numbers can also be translated into numbers that can be represented as intervals that are kind of musical. The relationship between music and number has been recognized since early civilizations. So if you think about it, like Indians and people from Mesopotamia and Greeks, they all converge music and mathematics together. So, all of these early civilizations perceived that number, geometry, mythology were the basic patterns that explain the whole universe. Actually, modern physics is now kind of reaffirming these ideas of the sound as the vibrational structure for all that we know. So sound patterns and music can be perceived as the principle for the whole cosmos. So if we start thinking about the deepness of sound as a universal structure for everything, we start thinking of it more as an experience and more as a sense. It's actually something that is more of
the numbers.
What can snails teach us about success?
It's a different equation.
When one typically thinks of a snail, what comes to mind?
Consider 2 snails.
Perhaps the word slow, and slow
they're reproducing
and slow
in a way that we would
and slow and sluggish. But what if I told you
most important.
that a snail,
What I'd like you to take
a single snail, could transcend what it means to be a snail? That the snail has the potential to overcome its own name. What if I told you that the secret to success, happiness, and the preservation of our youth and beauty lies not within us, but within the average snail? In 2003, Albert...
Good evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to tell you a little secret. A little secret about the geometry of snail's shell. Look at the lovely shape. How beautiful it is. How beautiful is our nature. Notice that this spiral as well as the infinite series of connected rectangle is an example of self-similar object. That is, of structure which is repeated in the same way, but smaller and smaller at all scales. In fact, this auto repetition of the same pattern is actually reflected in the mathematical structure of the golden mean. The mathematical structure of the golden mean. The mathematical structure of the golden mean. This very spatial spiral is exactly that of the handled shell and observation. Why fun?
So, there's always a question that made me so curious. What does snail think about when having sex? It starts with a light, soft touch, one technically gently reaching out, hesitant, hopeful, hanging lightly in the air. There's a pause. Skin touches skin. Skin touches skin. Skin touches skin. Skin touches skin. One softly strokes the other and slides closer. And then, carefully, they wrap themselves together, stroking, coaxing, and twining. They glisten as they move. And because they are snails, everything happens very slowly. They're rubbling.
So what is a snail? What have we learned from it?
Well, isn't the snail just a metaphor for life?
Or is life a metaphor for snails?
But what about spirals? Isn't all of this about spirals?
Aren't spirals all about math and geometry and proportions?
But aren't those all the same parameters of sound? Can this all be about sound?
Then are spirals mimicking snails, or sound, or life?
And do snails even make a sound? Where is their sound?
Isn't sound everywhere?
Or is everywhere filled with sound?
But isn't sound empty?
Or isn't that emptiness just filling the everything?
But what do you mean by everything?
Is everything just the opposite of nothing?
But does void even have an opposite? Is everything trapped by its voidness?
Well, if we're all trapped in the void, do we even exist?
So are you saying that we're all trapped in the spiral voidness of the snail shell?
Isn't that another way of referring to life? Is life just a spiral voidness of snail shell?
Then what are we in this whole scenario?
Are we the snail's children?
Or are we actually bringing the snail to life?
Or aren't all of us spirals, snails, and stairs just dancers moving to the beat of the cosmic tune we all call sound?
So, what is the snail? And what have we learned
So
from
what
it?
is
What
the
is the
snail?
snail? What did we learn from it?
What happened to the snail? What do we learn
So
from it?
what is the snail?